The movie is One Battle After Another, which was written and directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. The film follows Bob Ferguson, a burnt-out former member of the controversial revolutionary group the French 75, who now, many years later, lives in a state of stoned paranoia, surviving off-grid with his spirited and self-reliant 16-year-old daughter, Willa. One day, Bob's paranoid delusions become very real as former adversary, Colonel Stephen Lockjaw, comes looking for him and his daughter. When Willa goes missing, Bob must scramble to find her as both father and daughter battle the consequences of their pasts. Dude, this movie is incredible. I left the movie theater looking like Drake and Josh after riding the Demonator. Paul Thomas Anderson has done it again. This is another absolute banger that he added to his filmography. One of the things I loved about this one, though, is that it felt so different than a lot of his other movies. Like, this is probably the first real action-packed movie he's done, and honestly, PTA shooting action sequences feels like humans discovering fire. Like, it's just a total game changer. The action scenes were riveting, artistic, and beautiful, culminating into these breathtaking shots that felt like nothing I'd ever seen before, that also had my palms sweaty because they were so intense. There's a driving scene in the movie that is easily one of the best things I've ever seen done in a film. It's the type of thing that you watch and you're like, that's so awesome. How in the world has no one done that before? And that's the real magic of it, that it seems so obvious in hindsight, even though it really isn't, primarily because it works so well that when you watch it, you're like, oh, of course, because it just makes sense. The film was shot using VistaVision, which made all the colors of the film look incredibly rich and the images sharp and crisp, and Paul Thomas Anderson used the unique aspect ratio to efficiently optimize each scene in a way that made them all the more compelling. Unlike Phantom Thread, which if you don't know it, go watch it. It's another all-timer from Paul Thomas Anderson, which felt delicate, it felt prim and proper, it felt neat and organized, nice and clean. One Battle After Another is almost the exact opposite tonally. It's grungy, it's raw, it's sweaty, often sporadic and chaotic, and it's totally insane in all the best possible ways. Leonardo DiCaprio, I mean, what can you say? He's one of the last movie stars that we have, and it's just crazy because he was so good from such a young age, and yet his performances still seem to get better and better as he ages, and this one is no different. One thing that was different, though, was how funny he was in this movie. I would go as far as to say this was his funniest role to date. He played the erratic, bumbling, drug-addled character of Bob Ferguson impeccably, and he consistently had me laughing out loud throughout the movie. His interactions with Benicio del Toro's character, Sensei Sergio, were seriously so funny because of their hilarious dichotomy. Sensei is cool, calm, and collected the entire time shit is hitting the fan, which is like the complete polar opposite of how Bob is handling his situation. Chase Infiniti, Sean Penn, Regina Hall, and Teyana Taylor all gave spectacular performances as well, and give you such a deep understanding of who each of their characters were. Like, there's a lot of depth to each of them, and they managed to convey that really well through their portrayals. Also, very small thing, but this is maybe one of the best depictions of people aging that I've ever seen. They use a lot of very small, subtle details to show how these characters have aged over the past 16 years, and it's just so spot on in that regard. The movie is scored by Jonny Greenwood, whose music wonderfully pairs with each scene, really adding emphasis to their tone. From scenes showcasing a comedy of errors, mayhem and turmoil, emotional trauma, or rising tension, the score flawlessly complemented every ounce of the film. I thought that the story was incredibly compelling and captivating. The plot had a bunch of different story arcs that emerged and interweaved with one another, which made the whole thing feel like this rising crescendo that had me locked in from start to finish. Despite being close to 3 hours long, the movie doesn't drag at all, which speaks volumes to its magnificent pacing. The one tiny criticism that I have, which I'm honestly really kind of nitpicking, is that I felt like the film probably didn't need the entirety of the epilogue that it had. I kind of like it when a film isn't tied up nice and neat with a bow, and it just felt a little bit unnecessary to me. But seriously, this is one of, if not the best movie I've seen this year, and films like this are why we go to the movies. It can't be understated how awesome this film is, and honestly, This is an absolute must-watch for any fan of movies out there. One Battle After Another is an extraordinary, original film from one of the greatest living filmmakers, Paul Thomas Anderson, that features gorgeous cinematography, stunning action sequences that include some of the best that I've ever seen, phenomenal acting performances from each and every member of the cast, and an enthralling story that keeps you on the edge of your seat for the entirety of the 162-minute runtime. This is a movie that you 100% need to see in a movie theater. Like, I'm telling you, you're going to eventually watch this at home after it comes out on streaming, and you're going to regret that you didn't go out and see this on the biggest screen possible. So go watch One Battle After Another. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, please like the video, and add a comment letting me know what you thought of this movie or what movie you think I should review next. I put out a movie review each week, so subscribe to stay tuned. Thanks, y'all.